So coming to the current affairs, a CJI-led bench has decided to examine a petition challenging mandatory minimum sentencing in the case of gang rape of a minor below the age of 12. See, what is the mandatory minimum sentencing? Generally, there is no such mandates because the judicial officers will pronounce their judgments based on various factors. Case to case, they may differ, no doubt in it. First, they will consider the concept of principle of natural justice. Okay? So, but in this case, as per the 2016 ruling, try to remember this ruling, Muhammad Hashim versus State of UP and others. It said that in the case of a rape, this sentence is must. Why? The other person should hesitate to do that crime. In other things, in other offenses, there is no such mandate. In other offenses. Okay? Yeah. As per the 2016 ruling in Muhammad Hashim versus State of UP and others, the concept of mandatory minimum sentencing refers to a sentence which must be imposed without leaving any discretion to the judicial officer. Just now I told you, they will give the sentence considering various aspects of the accused. Suppose he is physically challenged, or if she is a pregnant lady, if that person is eccentric, everything they will consider because our judiciary rely more on the natural justice rather than the codification of laws. Yes, it is a need of the hour. After all, we are human beings. We should have difference between the human beings and animals. Their concept is correct. But as rape is the heinous crime, they want to set this mandate. They have set this mandate. So one person has challenged this, saying that it is not correct, this mandate. So a concept, ठीक है, which must be imposed without leaving any discretion to the court. It means a quantum of punishment that cannot be reduced below the period fixed. So these judges are not having uh, any discretion to minimize this sentence. So they may ask, try to remember this, Muhammad Hashim versus State of UP, also useful in the mains, also prelims, etc. A concept that comes primarily from the Canadian and American legal systems. In India, such sentences are prescribed for all sexual offences under the Prevention of Children from Sexual Offences (POCSO Act), except the offence of sexual harassment. What are the arguments for and against? For, it limits the scope for judicial discretion and arbitrariness, thereby enhancing the cause of justice. Yeah, no question of any arbitration. He has done a mistake, we have to punish. No question of principle of natural justice. It is a heinous crime. It acts as a deterrent, means other people will not involve in doing such kind of act. See, it is the reason why in our childhood days, our teachers used to punish with the punishments like kneel down or running across the ground, because other students will not come to the class late, or they will not watch phones in the class, like our doctor, actor. Okay? Yes. It acts as a deterrent for serious or harsh offenses by ensuring that the perpetrator does not go unpunished. Yes. And other person will hesitate to do that kind of crimes. And of course, in India, we are having many acts to keep a check on the sexual offenses. But so nothing is working good. And the number of rapes, at least not decreasing. Okay? Yes. Again, this leads to overcrowding of prison as is unfair as the convicts mitigating circumstances. See, we have to study the background of the convict. Whether is it his first offense or he is a regular law offender. Based on that only the judicial officers will give the justice. Suppose if somebody tries to attack me, then I will open fire on them, because in self-defense I did so. Then, then accordingly, my case will be trialed. Time and again, if I am opening fire means automatically, I mean, the way of the sentence will be, I mean, different. So here what they are saying, this leads to overcrowding of prisons and is unfair as the convicts mitigating circumstances, such as if they are a first-time offender or the sole breadwinner in the family, are often overlooked. So if it is 12 years, say for understanding purpose, then if he is a sole breadwinner, then all his family members will suffer. So earlier what happened? The court used to take into cognizance the principle of national justice. Now, no question of that. So, I mean, somebody challenged that, saying that it is arbitrary. Okay? Yes. Now, so government to hand over 1,000 monuments to the private sector under Monument Mitra scheme. Why private sector in the monument? Because they will maintain them in a fair manner. So it is the source from the mint. The government will hand over around 1,000 monuments to the private sector for their upkeep under the Monument Mitra scheme. About Monument Mitra scheme, the scheme was started a few years back under the Ministry of Tourism. It is now transferred to the Ministry of Culture in respect of the monuments around under the Archaeological Survey of India, the ASI. So try to remember these ministries also. It aims at ensuring quality and inclusive provision of amenities and facilities across heritage. All sort of amenities, and even they have to preserve the I mean that structure. So these private people are more accountable and also more responsible. Now, these organizations would be known as Monument Mitras for their collaboration initiative. So this concept you may encounter in any exam, either prelims or in the mains or anything. Now, so Madhya Pradesh newest Ramsar wetland. So recently, Sankhya Sagar was added to the list of Ramsar. Now it is facing threat. The total surface of the lake is covered by some sort of leaves, like our Hussain Sagar in Hyderabad. It is very tough to clean that. Now now we are unable to see the lake or the surface of the water. Just we are able to see the leaves only. An artificial lake in MP's Superior District, Sankhya Sagar, has virtually disappeared under a thick layer of an invasive aquatic plant, HYACINTH. So you can see such kind of aquatic plant even in the Hussain Sagar in Hyderabad, just by the side of Tank Bund. Now, Sankhya Sagar, a Ramsar site declared in 2022, is a wetland site. So you know what is meant by Ramsar, what is meant by wetland, we have discussed, and it is a recent, Ramsar site. Oh, and the lake spreads across 248 hectares, very big, and it is having an hectares, and helps maintain the ecological balance of the Madhav National Park. They may ask, where is the Madhav National Park? They may not ask that plant which is ruining the lake. The lake is home to Mars crocodiles, Akkamagar, which is a Schedule 1 reptilian species, okay, which we have discussed in the earlier class also. What sort of things will come under Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4? Even some sort of trees will also, come under this law. Water hyacinth, Pontendaria crassipes, is an invasive plant species. Of course, I told the live example of our Hussain Sagar, which is covered by this plant. Although the plant has some uses, act as water purifier by removing heavy metals, it poses a threat to aquatic biodiversity when it covers the entire surface of water's body, because due to lack of photosynthesis, many algae may die, which are food for the fishes. Automatically, when algae is not available, fish will also die. The same case with the coral reefs. Yes. And Ramsar Convention. So once again, it is an international treaty for the conservation and wise use of wetlands. It is named after the Iranian city of Ramsar on the bank of Caspian Sea, where the treaty was signed on 2nd February 1971. It came into force in 1975. Nowadays, every date, year is also important. Which of the following statements are true with regard to the Ramsar sites? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Yes. So we have discussed India has 75 sites in the last class only. Okay? As of August 2022. And when you come to the Montrex record, it is dated Ramsar Convention only. Montrex record under the convention is a register of wetland sites where changes in ecological character have occurred or occurring or are likely to occur as a result of technological developments, pollution or other human interfaces. It is maintained as part of the Ramsar list. Of course, nothing is needed more than this. Yeah. Kerala's Wayanad becomes the first district in the country to provide basic documents to all tribal people. Who is the Lok Sabha representative from this Wayanad? Who represents Wayanad parliamentary constituency? Who represents the Wayanad parliamentary constituency? Online students. Yes, few people are able to answer. Rahul Gandhi. So just we have to add such kind of things such that we will remember the things in a fair manner. Okay, that is very important. Yes. See, basic documents. Now, if you go anywhere, okay, to book a slot to write a test to get a license. First, you have to write a test. Then, after your test, you will be given the learner's license. For that also, one document is needed. That is Aadhaar. Okay, so if a person is not having the Aadhaar or any relevant document, he will face lot of hardship. Take the example of ticket booking, IRCTC. They also ask you the Aadhaar. Even by taking ticket, if you want to enter the train, first they will ask you the Aadhaar. So many people in the country, especially these tribal people, are not having the necessary documents. So this district, authorities took it as challenge and they tried to provide all the necessary documents to that tribal people. See, see, I'm take the example of a person who has crossed the age of 60 years. Okay, if he is not having any document, he will not get any sort of government subsidies or incentives or benefits. So they will be deprived. Even take the example of Ayushman Bharat. It is a health insurance scheme of the central government. And even so, when you come to Telangana, of course, now they are also implementing the Ayushman Bharat. Earlier, they were not implementing. Now they are implementing. So how you will get that scheme up? Applicable for you only if you are having the Aadhaar or any sort of things. And even if you want to take a bank loan, okay, you should have the passbook of your land to take the loan. Kerala's Wayanad becomes the first district in the country to provide basic documents to all the tribal people. The ABCD campaign organized by the Wayanad District Administration for People's Awareness and collaboration with different departments, because you are having revenue, panchayat raj, health, etc. It organized over 26 campaigns across the district so far with the support of the revenue and tribal development departments. District IT mission, yes, it is needed. Without IT mission, you cannot take the photo or what you say biometric or thumb impression. And local administrative bodies ensuring basic documents to all citizens belonging to the scheduled tribes and these documents are digitalized and saved in DigiLocker accounts open for them. It is very important. Digitalized. See, I am having my Aadhaar. So last day I went to the HDFC bank. So there was some issue with my name. I asked them to see that my name in the bank account is same like my Aadhaar, including surname. So just they have took the thumb impression. Automatically they got all the details. There was no need for me to even to take the Xerox copy of Aadhaar. Arthamainda? Okay? Yes. See, now you can see you will get the OTP. If your phone number is linked to the Aadhaar, just they will ask. So what what is the OTP? So based on OTP, everything will be finalized. Yes, it is the meaning of the DigiLocker. Benefits. People, mostly tribal, can avail themselves of the government incentives. It may be pension or Ayushman Bharat, etc. Even vaccines also. Earlier, vaccines were given free of cost. Take the example of Pradhana Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, free food grains. It will save them the time and effort of visiting several offices. At one place, they got everything. Digitalization of the documents through DigiLocker will help the beneficiaries easily retrieve the documents in case they are lost or damaged. So it is a very excellent work done by the district authorities. Now, government exempts key infra projects from wildlife fund rules. What is the meaning of wildlife fund rule? Suppose there is a forest area, for understanding purpose. I am laying a road. Say this is the A, this is the B. My total road is not passing through the forest area. Say only a part is passing through the forest area. But earlier, what happened? The fund was collected based on the project cost, not based on the area which is getting damaged because of this project. Just they used to take the percentage in this project cost. Whether it is fair or unfair, generally unfair. Generally unfair because they are damaging only a small part. But the fund is treated as a whole. So now government realized that and they said that we are going to collect only in the area up to which the forest area is damaged. And naturally, this idea of government got opposition from the environmentalist. They say that you are again supporting the capitalists, and even they say that you cannot repair the environment. Even money cannot repair the just environment. Even in the case of Silent Valley project, the Supreme Court observed that even if you spend 10,000 crores also, we will not let you to initiate the concession of the Silent Valley project. Silent Valley project is on the bank of which river? Silent Valley project is on the bank of which river? Online students. Kunti or Bhavani, which is a tributary of the Kaveri. Kunti or Bhavani, which is a tributary of the Kaveri. We have discussed it several times. Okay, no issue now. So try to remember this concept. Very easy to remember. The center has exempted road, rail, and transmission line projects from having to deposit 2% and 0.5% of the total project cost towards the cost of wildlife management plan and soil and moisture conservation plan in a move that will benefit that will benefit developers, but which has been criticized by the environmentalists. So when these previous guidelines was given, the Union Environment Ministry under guidelines issued on June 7, 2022 made it mandatory for all projects to deposit 2% of the total project cost. Total project cost. Though the total project is not running through the forest. In spite it is winning only a small packet also, they have to pay the total project cost. So generally it is unfair towards the cost of implementation of and the case may be to obtain stage 2. Okay. So after paying this amount only, the government used to give the clearance. Why are the changes now? The government decided to tweak the guidelines for road and other linear projects such as rail lines, sidewalks, trails, and transmission lines. After it was pointed out that these projects would end up paying for the entire length of the project, even though only a small part would pass through a forest. Suppose take the example of a transmission line running from A to B. Only a part of the forest is affected. But earlier, what happened? The developer was forced to pay the 2% for the entire cost of project. Then automatically, sometimes what happened? It may not become viable. So viability is very important for any project. If the person is not getting back the money, means then everything will ruin. Take the example of the national highways running from the Hyderabad to Bangalore. All stretches of that highways are in the hands of private people, and they are viable. Now they are extending even two more lanes. Already work has started. Okay. Yes. Yes. Now, rising demand for Kevada oil, a blessing for 2 lakh people in Odisha's Ganjam district. 2 lakh is not a small figure. Where this Kevada oil is used. So this kind of things, because in the group one of Telangana, they asked about the chutney. Even the AP prelims was also tough. And in the AP prelims, the ratio was only 1:10, if I am not wrong, or 1:12. It is not 1:50. AP 1:15. So it is tough, like UPSC 1:50. Even in AP also. Okay. Yeah. I think in AP, I think it is not 1:50. Is it 1:50? AP students? Okay. I don't know whether it is actually whether they have mentioned in the notification or not. By seeing the number, you can conclude how many. Huh? So they have taken around 70. It is too high. So it is ratio is more than Telangana. In spite of that, I think many people could not clear. It seems. Of course, few cleared. No issue. Okay. Where this Kevada oil is used in the aromatics, and you people are very much fascinated by the aromatics. Early morning after brushing your teeth, just you will spray the aromatic and come to the class. Okay? Yes. The recent growth in demand for Kevada oil has boosted the revenue of families in the coastal pockets of Odisha's Ganjam district. So Ganjam Kevada, of course, it is very tough to remember all scientific names. The important thing is it is registered under the Geographical Indications of Goods Act 1999 by the Government of India. Color depends on the sex of the pine. You can see here, male, female. Color depends on the sex of the pine. Don't go in depth. So remember, Kevada oil belong to which state, whether it is having the geographical indication or not. Okay? Yes. Now, so TB vaccine, India can lead efforts to find a new TB vaccine. So achievement of Indians in science and technology. In India, the main risk factor for TB is undernutrition. Of course, not only for TB, for any disease, undernutrition is the root cause. Even for headache, even for minor disease also, undernutrition. Don't think that the people who are flabby or chubby, they are highly nourished. It is not the case. Okay? Okay? Even I am having vitamin B12 deficiency and also D3, even though I am almost like Adnan Sami. Okay? Yes. ठीक है. TB incidence is higher in lower economic groups, especially in tribal and remote rural areas, and in the urban poor. This becomes an issue of equity. Yes, whenever a person is unhealthy, then more amount he has to spend to cope up with the health. It will force that person into poverty, no doubt in it. If any person is in hospital, automatically all the earnings of that family members will be routed to the hospital only. So, I mean, considering that kind of issues, Telangana government has initiated a free dialysis scheme in Telangana. In many hospitals, they are running the free dialysis camps. But the main reason for the dialysis is the failure of kidney, and the main reason is the sugar, high levels of sugar, and consumption of high level of refined carbohydrates. Okay, especially like idlis, etc. Okay. Yes. Of course, TB. Of course, I am not a doctor to address this issue in a fair manner. Just remember, TB is a potentially serious infectious disease. Yes, it may cause death, no doubt in it. Potentially serious infectious disease that mainly affects the lungs. The and take the example of COVID-19, which is the organ that first affected. It is the lungs, and the people who had the issues like asthma and sugar, they faced the death. Of course, we will say everything is in God. Everything is in the hands of God. Don't study, then you will clear examination. But you will not say that eating and this tiffin, etc., is in the hands of God. That you will do by yourself. Understand? Everything will be in our hands. We can maintain, 90% health by changing our food profile. Okay? Yes, no issue. And all this I cannot explain. Yeah. See, nowadays, these IIT students or students from excellent engineering college or any other, institution, they are involving in the innovations. So this university team builds pollution map based on roadside dust. Everybody know road, and you can see the particulate matter which is present on the sides or even on the road also. They collected this dust, and based on its magnetic properties, they have concluded the pollution level. Pollution level. Okay. Geologists at Jadavpur University have found that they can get a preliminary sense of the pollution in area by collecting roadside dust and testing it with the magnetic fields. The technique reveals the presence of different magnetic elements, and by tracing them back to, specific sources. See, every vehicle, suppose petrol vehicle will have some sort of emission, and diesel vehicles will have some sort of, emissions, and even the nearby industries, iron and steel industry will have some sort of emissions. Studying this, they can say that which source is the main cause for the pollution. Okay. Yes. Now, economy at risk from move to clean energy. We have achieved our target, which we have given in the COP. See, what is clean energy? Not usage of the fossil fuels, etc. What we are saying, economy at risk from move to clean energy. What are the various reasons? See, actually, what is happening? ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, which is the public sector unit. Many banks have lended their money to the ONGC and other oil marketing companies or the private companies like SR. You are having many companies which are involved in such kind of activities. That is, they are exploring the fossil fuel. In the same way, PSUs or private banks also gave huge amount of loans to the companies which are involved in the excavation or exploration of the coal. Suppose And even a study said that in coming years, the demand for these two energies, that is the petrol, that is crude oil and coal, will the demand will reduce drastically. See, take the example of ONGC. Now the crude oil is nearly 80 rupees, $80 per barrel, not rupees, for our understanding purpose. At the time of COVID, it went to zero also, in the history. Even it went to the negative. Yes, negative also. Texas, some NYMEX or Brent, it went even just negative also. Yeah, it went negative also. And for a long period, it was between 27 to 30. So when crude was very near to 10, 20, 30, the share price of ONGC was very less. So what I mean to say is, if these companies will not run in the profits, then who are the victims? The bankers. The bankers who lended loan to them are at risk. If bankers are at risk, automatically total economy will be at risk. See, only for understanding purpose, I am not enemy of any company. Just what happened in the stock market yesterday. See, Adani Group. Some international agency said that Adani Group's stock was overvalued and it was highly inflated, and even their debt is not sustainable. See, I'm a sm- I'm a lower middle class person. Can I take a loan to buy a Ferrari? The debt is not manageable for me. Okay? Yes. Chicken. Yeah. So what happened yesterday in the market? So their debt is not sustainable, and even their share price is highly inflated, etc., etc. Whether it is a rumor or whether it is reality, it is not a matter for us. But what happened? That company shares fell by 15 to 20%. Banks stocks fell by 5%. The reason is, if this Adani, even all these PSUs, including private banks, are exposed to the Adani group. So they will be at threat. And what happens sometimes, the what you say, the promoter will pledge shares. Not only promoters, even we can also pledge the shares which are in our demat account to get the loan. Suppose I pledge a share which is having a value of 10,000, and I took the loan from the bank. 90% they will give loan. So I got 90. I got say 9,000 rupees. I got 9,000 rupees as a loan. What happened suddenly? The share fell to 1,000 rupees. Say the case like yesterday, that is the stocks fell by 20%. It will become 8,000. But banker has given 9,000. Who is the sufferer? So yesterday it was a tough day for the traders and also the brokers like IAFL and Kotak Securities, etc. Because they will give the money to the traders and also investors. If stock prices fell in this manner, means everything will be headache. It is one reason. What is the other reason? Suppose I am having a industry, for understanding purpose. Suppose I am having a industry. Now I am using the carbon, say coal or other fossil fuel. If I was ordered to turn to the clean energy like hydrogen, etc., my cost of inputs will increase. No doubt in it. When my cost of inputs increase, what happened to my profit? My profit will decline. When my profit decline, I may not be in a position to pay back the loan to the banks. So now yesterday threat, if it become big, means it is tough for the banking system of India also. It is the reason why our bank nifty fell by 1,300 points. Rarely it will fall beyond 1,000 points. Generally, a huge fall means 500 points, 700 points is considered as a huge fall. But yesterday it fell nearly it was volatile and it fell nearly 2,000 points at one instance because of the fear. So I hope how the change in the fossil fuels to clean energy will impact the economy. It may be useful for your mains or to address any issues. Now, according to a study in the Global Environmental Change Journal, India's financial sector is highly exposed to the risks of the economy transitioning from being largely dependent on fossil fuels to clean energy. Just now I told you, when I will use the coal, my cost of production will be very less. If I shift to some other, and the problem is, even take the example of solar panels. We are not manufacturing the solar panels. We may manufacture, but it may not be sufficient. We are importing from the foreign countries, and it is a costly affair, no doubt in it. And even if anything happens, like the items which are used in the manufacture of solar panels rate increases automatically, then the total system may not be viable. Now, what happened? Now, solar is more viable than the wind energy. If solar panel cost increases, then automatically it may not be viable. Okay? Yes. Coal. Currently, coal currently accounts for 44% of the India's primary energy sources and 70% of its power generation. Of course, no doubt in it. 70% of coal is used in the of course, thermal plants are the major source of electricity. And in most of the thermal plants, coal is the main energy, followed by furnace oil, followed by diesel. But major share is by the coal only. The country's coal-fired power plants have an average age of 13 years. Suppose today I had I had established a power plant by using the coal, and I took the loan, and I will keep a term of 13 years. Why? My power plant's life is 13 years. In between, I am forced to shut down the plant. Why? We have to shift to the clean energy. Then automatically, who is the loser? And myself, followed by the banker who has lended money to my industry. Yes. According to the draft National Electricity Plan 2022, coal share in the electricity generation mix will decrease to 50% by 2030. When coal share decreases, automatically the companies involved in coal mining will also lose their business. That is common thing. After initiation of the offline business has declined, and in future what happens, only God knows. Only tabs will come. Talking tab. Yes. In 2021, the Prime Minister of India announced India's commitment to reach net zero emissions by 2070 and half of its electricity needs from non-fossil fuel sources by 2030. And even we are ahead of our target because we are having excellent improvement in our solar energy. And even India is a tropical country. We will never face the problem of solar insolation. Now, highlight the study. The financial decisions of Indian banks and institutional investors are forcing the nation to rely on more expensive. Of course, just now I told you how it impact the industries and how it impact the banking system in a nutshell. It is mentioned in this. So, who are the sufferers? Banker is a sufferer. For yesterday's rumor or reality, I don't know. Who are the sufferers? Bankers are sufferers. SBI fell, HDFC fell, HDFC Bank and SBI are the big shots. ICICI fell. And what happens on Monday, only God knows. Even, SEBI is also going to initiate a probe, it seems. And whatever may be the case, as the stock price was also increased, multiple times, and even its, valuations are very high, automatically some people will start selling because they earned already profit. Just 1.5 years ago, it was less than 1,000 rupees. So they are sitting in the profits. They will sell the stock and they will invest in some or other sector. Okay? Yes. Yeah. In general, the following, all the above para concepts I have discussed in practical manner. In general, the following are a few reasons a nation's economy may be at risk from moving to clean energy. These points are very important. High upfront, high upfront costs. Yes. If you want to switch to some other type of energy, automatically you have to spend more. And we are already running in the losses. Take the example of any Transco, Genco, they are already running in the losses. And all state governments are in the issue of are facing the problem of fiscal deficit. Even the country also. Now, job losses in certain industries. Suppose ONGC business declines, automatically they will remove the engineers, and engineers will be recruited in the solar industry, etc. Job loss in certain industries. This could have negative effects on the economy and could lead to higher unemployment. In the routine classes yesterday, I told you what are the consequences of the job loss. Unemployment. When you are not having the salary, you will not going to spend any money. If you are not spending money, no question of any expansion of the economy. Now, so dependence on foreign technology. Just now I told you, solar panels we are importing from the foreign countries, and even wind. Many items used in the, wind power are also imported from the foreign countries. So dependence on foreign technology. Many countries may have to import clean energy technology from other nations, which can be expensive. And lack of infrastructure and uncertainty of investments and regulation. Yes. What is this? Uncertainty of investments and regulations. Earlier, take the example of wind power. Everybody invested in the wind power. But finally, what happened? It took the back seat. So now these investors may fear in investing in the solar power. Why? In future, new energy may come. Who knows? Who knows? Who thought that I will teach in the online? I never thought. Only I used to teach the students who are in front of me. And I was very rude in that time. Of course, again, became rude, no doubt in it. And our success rate is abnormal. And even the second person will be far away from us. Success rate, I am not talking about the number. I am not interested in number. Okay? Yes. Then coming to what is Chinnam Pass? Because everybody will go through the daily updates, etc. What is the Chinnam Pass? Not Chinnamma, Chinnam Pass. Okay. So in Singapore, with the help of plastics, they have made the floating gardens. Chinnampa's floating gardens made of plastic bottles. In Singapore, a group of volunteers are encouraging people to turn plastic bottles into mini floating gardens known as Chinnampas. It was used as an ancient farming technique by the Aztecs, Mexico, who built artificial floating islands in lakes and found a way to grow plants and food on them. See, like you are having aquaponics. Yes, aquaponics. Again, history is cyclical. We are going back to our traditions. This can be used as an innovative example to recycle and reuse plastic bottles. Already we have discussed RRR, not the movie. Huh? Reduce, recycle. Adi. Yes, good girls. Now, last class we have discussed about a place which is sinking. What is the name of that place? Last class we have discussed. A place was sinking. Joshimat. So the nearby district people stopped using the groundwater and they stopped the sinking of the mud. If you use the groundwater, what happens? Hollow will be created, automatically it will sink. So man's impact on nature. How a Delhi district stopped the ground from sinking? As India's Himalayan town of Joshimat has been sinking, Delhi's Dwarka district reduced its reliance on groundwater and reversed the trend of land subsidence. They have stopped the trend of land subsidence. A University of Cambridge report corroborated that the neighborhood had subsided by around 3.5 centimeters in 2014 alone. When groundwater is pumped out, the land above it sinks, and this leads to land subsidence. Initiatives taken. Heavy fines were imposed on buildings still using bore wells. Now in Hyderabad, we have to, of course, and luckily we are getting more water, but still secondary source is the bore water. Two local lakes, including a 200-year-old local reservoir named Naya Jod, were rejuvenated. Yes, local lakes should be rejuvenated, but what we are doing, we are constructing the lake view apartments, and we are converting the lakes into dump yards. Yes, everybody will come and throw the garbage in that lake. You should install the CC cameras and impose heavy penalties on those persons. But government will give the permission to for construction of apartments. They will construct now. And even we have discussed the central government program to rejuvenate the lakes or tanks. What is the name of that program? Mission Amrit Sarovar. In Telangana, it is Mission Kakatiya. Yes. Mandatory to irrigate public parks using only sewage and treated surface water. It is recycling of the water. Yes, now Hussain Sagar water should be recycled and it should be used at least for the secondary purpose like watering the lawns or the trees on the median, etc. Residents began harvesting rainwater to increase the water table level in the area. Automatically, the subduction will decrease. Usages. This example can be used as a conclusion or innovative steps in other parts. You know, what are the three C's of the, because Viksit Bharat, that is developed India, convergence of central and state schemes, it is very important. Like Ayushman Bharat, Arogya Sri. Now there are many conflicts with regard to many programs. Take the example of national education policy. Many states are opposing that national education policy, which is a three-language policy. Collaboration, central, state level officers, district collectors, and Gram Panchayat, all systems should work in collaboration. Now, what is happening? One office don't know what the other office has taken the decision with regard to that issue. Competition, yes, among districts through monthly rankings, like Niti Ayog. Yes, it will give ranks in various sectors, education, extension of services. And next, Swami Sajanand, we have discussed. Tell me the organization or for one organization, he is the first president, and we have discussed in the mains class. Swami Sajananda is the first president of an organization which we have discussed before the Telangana prelims. That is before October 16th. Anybody? Anybody from online side? Okay, he is the first president of prestigious organization All India Kisan Sabha. All India Kisan Sabha. Okay, we have discussed this point in the mains class, TSPSC mains class. Yes, okay. And he was a close aide of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The Union Home Minister will take part in celebration commemorating former leader Swami Sajananda Saraswati's birth anniversary in Patna, Bihar. His real name, Naurang Rai, was an ascetic, a nationalist, and a peasant leader of India. Although born in present-day UP, his social political activities were focused mostly on Bihar in the initial days and gradually spread to other parts. The Bihar Provincial Kisan Sabha was founded by Saraswati Sajanand Saraswati in 1929 to address peasants' complaint about Jamindari attacks on their occupancy rights. Yes, In that period, tenants were at the will of zamindars. Like you people will come to the class at your will. If not, you will say that my body is paining and yesterday I I went to bed late. I cannot come to the class. The All India Kisan Sabha, this is very important, was established at the Lucknow session of the Indian National Congress in 1936, with Saraswati chosen as the first president. For prelims, this question may encounter. Subhash Chandra Bose and the All India Forward Bloc decided to observe April 28 as All India Swami Sadananda Day in protest of his arrest by the British Raj during the Quit India movement. Of course, Quit India movement, many were arrested and even people were fired from the aeroplanes. Okay? Yes. Okay, now, next topic. SC refuses to make charge sheets public. Yes. What is meant by a charge sheet? Suppose, for understanding purpose, I will attack this girl. Okay? Automatically, a preliminary inquiry will be carried and everything is mentioned in that. That is called as the first information report along with the charge sheet. And in India, one of the reason for the delayed judgments in many criminal cases is the lack of in-time submission of charge sheet by the police authority. It is not their mistake because they are having less workforce because on this concept we have studied in the mains. One of the reason for the piling up of cases in the courts. Arthamainda? Yes. So what Supreme Court said, yes, it is against the right to privacy. That person's, charge sheet should not be made public. And now, even after the Puttaswamy case, the concept of privacy became limelight. Even there is no need for us to give the thumb impression also, It is up to us. Yes. The Supreme Court has held that the public cannot be given free access to a charge sheet or a final investigation report as it is not a public document and doing so will violate the rights of the victim, the accused and even the investigating agency. What is charge sheet? In policing on the Indian subcontinent, a charge sheet is prepared after first information report and charges on individual for the crimes are framed and submitted to the court along with the necessary evidences. Of course, subject to further investigations. That's all. Now, the government is combining the two health schemes. That is CGHS with the Ayushman Bharat. This is aimed at creating digital health identification of CGHS beneficiaries and storing their digital health records, thus ensuring quick treatment to the needy. Yes. As soon as you go to the hospital, they will ask, are you having BP? Are you having sugar? Or any issues? At least physical or mental? If everything is in the digital format, then as soon as you press the thumb impression or number, your background will come. Accordingly, the medical officer will start the treatment. That is very important. Okay. In future, everything will be digital. Everything will be digital. Even the continuous legal offenders will also be digitalized. As soon as one person involved in any, law offending, the police will take his thumb impression and accordingly they will initiate the case. Of course, you know what is Ayushman Bharat. Okay. Yeah. Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jana Arogya Yojana and Digital Mission. Government to combine CGHS with Ayushman Bharat and Ayushman Bharat School Health and Wellness Program has less than 50% uptake. Yes. It has to go a long way. It is the world's largest health assurance scheme, launched in 2018 by Minister of Health and Family Welfare. In exam, Ayushman Bharat works under, you have read this. It provides medical insurance of rupees 5 lakh to over 10 crore marginalized families, cashless entry, Even you can also go to the corporate hospital and submit your card, and government will pay the money. Identified through SCCC 2011 data for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization, centrally sponsored scheme, funding 60:40 and 90:10. 90:10 is for the northeastern states, if I am not wrong. It covers pre-existing disease, yes, because everybody is having some or other disease. Yeah, nowadays it has become common. If a person like me says that I am not having sugar, oh, you are great, you are lucky, you are not having sugar, no, you are not having BP, no, but my students will create BP for me. So I will get BP sometimes. It is the reason why I will take one BP tablet only for the sake of my students only. I am not having BP, I am not having sugar. Yes. Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, it aims to develop the digital backbone for integrated digital health infrastructure, launched in 2021. It is central sector scheme. Yeah. Now we have discussed many times PM Kisan. It is a direct benefit transfer of the central government. It is a monetary support of the central government. In the upcoming budget, the center may increase the income support provided to farmers under the PM Kisan scheme from 6,000 to 8,000 rupees per year. Whereas in Telangana, 10,000 rupees per acre, 5,000 per each season for Kharif and 5,000 for Rabi. I am thinking that this 5,000 will be made to 6,000 in the Telangana's budget. Okay, 6,000 to 8,000 rupees per year, despite the budget's primary focus on macroeconomic stability. Yes, macroeconomic stability is also important. But if farmer is prosperous, automatically there will be a lot of positiveness for the macroeconomics. Now the issues are like this financial stress, like companies which are involved in huge debts like Adanis, etc. They will take lakhs and crores of debts. The healthy balance sheet of the banks may ruin. Okay. Now, okay. The proposal in an effort to boost consumption and rural demand would entail an annual additional cost of around 22,000 crores to the government. It is very less compared to the size of the India's farm community, and compared to the size of India's budget, 22,000 crores is very less. If I am not wrong, Telangana government is spending 15,000 rupees for that scheme. Yes, approximately. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi PM Kisan, the number of beneficiaries has crossed 110 million from 31 million at the beginning of the scheme, and financial assistance of more than 2 trillion has been provided to needy farmers in over 3 years. Of course, the scheme is also good. Okay, 100% centrally funded scheme. Okay, and ministry is the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Physical verification mode, a mandatory physical verification of 5% beneficiary every year is being done. Mode of transfer, directly into the bank account. Exclusion, all institutional landholders like farmhouses, etc. Big, take the example of a company. If company is having thousands of acres, they are excluded. Or if one of the family members hold a government job, they are excluded in future. Group D employee or as or the income tax payee, automatically it will be excluded. But in the case of Telangana's Raitu Bandhu, no exclusion. If you are having land, if you are having passbook, if you are having bank account, you will get the money on December 20th and 29th, and on 30th night you can use that funds in a fair manner. And it has resulted in the abnormal sales of the, you know what is that? And even I told you in the mains class, Bhavantar Bhugdan Yojana, it is not such scheme. Bhavantar Bhugdan Yojana is not such scheme. It is a scheme like the minimum support price. Suppose if a farmer is not getting the minimum support price, then the then when he sells in the market at a lesser price, the gap amount is filled by the government. It was settled in Madhya Pradesh when Shivraj Singh Chauhan was the chief minister. It is not the initial support. It is only at the time of selling the commodity. And Raitu Bandhu scheme, Telangana, and Krishak assistant for livelihood and income augmentation, Kalia in the Odisha. And there is lot of difference. Telangana, it is not 4,000 per acre, it is 5,000 per acre twice. And when you come to Kalia, 5,000 for farmer twice a year, only for farmer year per acre. And it is pumping more money to the farm sector, no doubt in it. And it is one of the reason why the rural economy is expanding. And even the number of farmers taking the loan from the private moneylenders has also decreased. No doubt in it. We have discussed all that in the Telangana Economic Survey. Of course, just within 4 or 5 days, not even 4 or 5 days, within 2 days, you will get the economic surveys of India and also, respective states. Yeah, that's all for today. అంటే